I love you. Oh, you welcome back to the Green. Welcome back. We're on the couch. I am the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
What's that? Could you speak up some? I am.
No.
I am the Faceless Leon. As you can tell, a Green Traveler has a cold. And when he has a cold, the voice box in his human suit just morphs. It just gets all warped out of place. And you can't hear nothing.
You hear the real Gorshin underneath.
Actually, I think we're both in pretty good health. He's just being themselves.
I'm just being stupid.
Not stupid.
That's me.
Welcome back to Green Faceless on the Couch.
Today's episode. Yeah.
Me too. Welcome back to Green Faceless on the Couch, a podcast about movies and TV. I think I said I'm the Faceless Leon. I might not have, but here we are.
See, I'm acting very Gorshin because today we're talking two films near and dear to my heart. Because they're about alien encounters, everybody. I'm so excited about this. A long time ago, I, like Clark Kent, I landed in my parents' backyard. Actually, it's not true. I landed in the government's backyard. They kept me locked down for a while before they gave me to my parents. But were I to rewrite my story, I landed in my benevolent parents' backyard, and they, like Clark Kent's parents, raised me to be the great and humble human proxy that I am today.
Human proxy. All right, yeah, we are talking two alien movies. This is the potato pick, by the way, and this suggestion was brought to us by a patron named Mike and Don Hamilton. Hooray!
Mike Hamilton don't count here.
Oh, I apologize. Whip me. Give me 50 lashes. Thanks for the suggestion. This almost got me back into the movie theater. I was about to go, and then this week, they started allowing you to rent on streaming services. Nope. So I rented it instead.
Nice.
I was all ready to go.
There you go.
I was all ready to go. It was just about finding a good time to go, and then there was a couple opportunities where we thought we would go, and then either something came up or Sarah wasn't feeling risking a crowd. And yeah, that's where fair. We ended up at the end is like, well, we don't have to go. I want to
I would entice
theater,
you.
Though. I do.
Yeah. I would entice you from a financial standpoint, that's the word. I would advise you from there that this weekend's a prime opportunity. Anybody who's listening to this the day it's coming out, which is September whatever the fuck, 1st September of 2022, not to date the episode. I hate doing that. But this Saturday, celebrating National Cinema Day or whatever, a lot of theaters are offering $3 tickets.
Oh, that's pretty fucking awesome. That's a good opportunity.
Yeah.
But I unfortunately have my, not unfortunately, it's my dad's birthday party, so I probably won't go.
Well, also, on the bad side of that means there's going to be a lot of crowd.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You'd have to go to, like, an art movie.
Yeah, I'm questioning whether to see two films that, we'll discuss in our exclusive Patreon episode. The lucky individuals who got to make suggestions this month also get to witness and listen to an exclusive episode called Bangers and Hash over on patreon.com/green and faceless. Man, I'm getting out of my lips today.
Yeah, me too.
Slash. But yeah, if you want to go check that out, that's awesome. But yeah, I'm questioning whether to see two films that will be heard on that review podcast of ours.
Yeah, are you going to just keep us in the dark of what they are?
I am. No, actually, no. Well, I'm thinking of seeing The Invitation.
Okay,
which is like supposedly a vampire film. Yeah. The trailer looks interesting for like the first 75%, and then like the last 30 seconds or so, I'm just like, why did you show any of this? You just ruined a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Like, it bothers me. The other film I'm thinking of seeing is 3,000 Years of Longing, and I say I'm thinking of seeing, I'm definitely seeing that. That's George Miller's new film. George Miller, everybody knows him only for Mad Max and Mad Max Fury Road.
And don't forget about the Witches of Eastwick.
Exactly. I was going to say, in reality, there's the Witches of Eastwick, there's Happy Feet, there's Babe.
That was Frank Miller? Babe.
George Miller.
George Miller?
Yeah, hold on.
Just said his name.
I gotta check because I think he also did Babe, but I might be completely wrong about that.
That was Frank.
I'm pulling it up. Babe, Pig in the City. He did.
He did the sequel.
He produced them. He didn't. He wrote Babe. Holy shit! He also wrote Babe.
Oh,
but he did direct the sequel. He directed Babe, Pig in the City.
Oh my god.
Oh, he also did Happy Feet too. I didn't know they made 2 of those.
I did know that, but I didn't see the second one because I thought they said what they needed to with the first. Honestly, same with Babe, but I'm pretty sure I've seen that sequel. We should sequel smash that sometime.
Oh, that'd be fun. You done good, Pig.
Yeah,
no, that'll do, Pig. That's it. That'll do, Pig. That'll do.
Man, we used to watch that movie a lot.
What a childhood fave.
Like a lot.
Should we get to the movies?
Sure.
That we're here for? First up's Close Encounters. Would you? Which one would you rather do? The synopsis for.
I feel comfortable with doing either. But yeah, I'm talking right now, so I guess I'll talk about Third Encounters. Third Encounters of the Close Kind. This is Close Encounters of the Third Kind, 1977, Steven Spielberg classic. And
yes,
yeah,
classic.
It's pretty fucking good. And I have to say that I had not seen it until you introduced it to me. And I think it's the same year that you introduced Contact to me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Or me to Contact, rather. But I think because we did Halloween, horror stuff every October, I think that 1 year in September, we were like, let's do a sci-fi run to build us into it. And we never did that again, but it was fun. And that wasn't for the show. That was for real life, because we did this in real life before we did it for you guys.
I don't remember what movie it was, but I remember there was one time where I think you and Ken were both, I think you were in the Professor Ronvald the Skull, were both working, so it was just me and your wife, Sarah, and I think the movie was a very old, like, 60s sci-fi, and I was, like, very excited to watch it.
Right.
I can't remember what it was at all. But I just remember, like, I was watching the whole time, just like, oh, yeah, and then, like, look over at your wife, and she's just, like, deep in her phone, like, nope, this movie lost me so long ago.
I don't remember.
I think it was The Day the Earth Stood Still or something. The original Day the Earth Stood Still. Maybe it was Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I can't remember which.
Oh, okay. Well, I have seen that one. Well, maybe not the original. Which one was Donald Sutherland in?
I think that was the remake.
Okay, well, I've seen that one.
Maybe.
I don't think
I can't remember. That one is good, though.
Yes, it is. So, we have Richard Dreyfuss. He's a man, and he works for the electrical company, and a big outage happens, and he goes out to investigate, and he has, along with a large group of people. Oh, maybe it's not so large the first time around. The second time, there's a big crowd.
Yeah, it's decent size, though.
But a decent sized group of people and himself witness a spacecraft in the air that is absolutely not of anything that's recognizable as human technology. And it also gives them sunburns or whatever radiation burns, whatever cancer they just got. And that
that's
scene
too
funny.
Is so fucking iconic.
Oh yeah, where he's floating in the car. Scene. Yeah, geez, that's so cool.
Yeah, That I remember watching that as a kid and just being like rocked by it because it was so cool. The lights are flashing everywhere. It actually scared me as a kid because the railroad sign going haywire like back and forth. I don't know why that just scared the crap out of me as a kid.
Right.
But it's like rewatching it, I was just like, my God, this is cinema heaven because it's like,
oh yeah,
I don't know,
it's good stuff. Like they had to like put him 70s. In a room, and then that had like the dashboard and all the knickknacks and stuff he had in his car, and just drop him. That's what they had to do to get right? that effect. And imagining that. That'd be kind of scary. In the film, it just seems like everything starts floating. But, thinking about what they'd have to do for the camera, they had to just drop them. And I wonder how they built the set for that. That'd be interesting to look into.
I'm sure there's a lot of cool behind-the-scenes stuff and everything. And also, it's worth noting that we watched the director's cut. Or at least I assume you watched the director's cut as well.
I don't know. I don't remember.
That was the one that was most readily available, so I'd assume that. Well, but then, it's just there was I don't remember the controversy around it, but I think there were certain things that were cut by the studio, and Steven finally, like a year or two later, got them to release his cut. So
right, okay. Well, we're happy for your cut. It's good if it's the one I watched. So
I'm pretty sure it would be.
He has this encounter. Then gets fired. I don't really remember why exactly. Probably because he didn't do his job like he said he was going to because he was very distracted. And he then goes out, I believe, the subsequent night. And there's this other woman there. I believe it's Jillian Gieler. They don't really have a description of the character, but it's played by Melinda Dillon. Yep, that's her. And she and her son encountered the same thing as Roy on that night. And then they meet each other again the subsequent night. And again, the 3 ships come this time. And it's super cool. A whole bunch of people see. And then some helicopters come and shoo all the people away. Richard, being Roy, starts going a little bit nuts over this. And he keeps on seeing this image everywhere, like this mountain-esque image. And it turns out so does everyone else that has had this encounter. I don't know about everyone else, but Jillian at least. But it really freaks out his wife, being Ronnie, and played by Terry Garr, and she takes their kids and runs away eventually. But this is after he starts throwing dirt and plants and rocks and things in through their kitchen window so that he could build a gigantic sculpture in the middle of their kitchen, which was pretty cool. He definitely worried all of the neighbors and all this stuff. And Jillian, being a painter, she keeps on painting it. And then suddenly they see it on the news. So now they know where this shape is. And so a good chunk of the movie is them journeying out to it. Now, meanwhile, you have these group of scientists trying to figure out different things that are happening around the world. And one of them is Francois Truffaut, playing Claude Lacombe. I think I said his name wrong, but he is a French scientist and an expert in UFOs. And he is getting translated by... it's Bob something.
Bob Balaban.
Bob Balaban, playing David Langley. And he's actually a cartographer, but he gets roped into being this guy's translator just because he was available and he could speak both French and I think either Moroccan or Arabic, whoever else they needed to talk to. And so he gets roped into it, and they're like, they're investigating all these things. There's these grouping of tones that's important throughout the movie. It seems to be some kind of message from the aliens, and all culminates into this ultimate meeting, the first contact, if I'm to ruin the movie a little bit. But it's really cool.
Oh, that part's exciting.
Yeah, and that's the synopsis of Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah, I had a joke that I struggled so hard to get out to you earlier, like days ago when we were talking about Close Encounters, and it was that in this film, Richard Dreyfuss is doing his best Midwestern schmuck, and Bob Balaban is doing his best Richard Dreyfuss from Jaws. And it's so true, because when Bob Balaban shows up, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I can, because Bob Balaban's one of those guys that I thought my introduction to him was through Wes Anderson.
Sure.
That I did not know he was in this movie. Watching it again last week when I, first time in probably a few years since probably I last showed it to you. I was like, when he showed up, I was like, oh, yep, that's Bob Balaban. Wow, he really looks like Richard Dreyfuss. and
he does.
And he just acts like Richard Dreyfuss did in the Jaws movie, and I'm just like, my God.
I wonder if they made Dreyfuss shave his beard. Because Bob would it. Well, yeah. And he's like, you guys look too
Dreyfuss,
alike.
I think Dreyfuss worked really hard to get this role, because him and Spielberg had worked together on Jaws, and then when Spielberg was writing this, Dreyfuss would just come by and bug Spielberg all the fucking time, because Spielberg was looking for, I think, Jack Nicholson or somebody big. I don't have time to look through the frickin' Wikipedia for it. But he was just trying to...
Yeah, I don't know if you mentioned Steve McQueen was his first pick.
Oh, see, that would be a good one, too. I think Steve McQueen would have been fun.
But on this
he was
list,
looking for somebody big, too.
Yeah, on this list, you also got James Caan, Dustin Hoffman, Al Pacino, and Gene Hackman.
Oh, my God.
And I guess Jack Nicholson turned it down.
Okay, so Jack was part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just love the story, though, of Dreyfuss going up to Steven Spielberg and being like, these guys they don't work for the role. He's like, you got to pick me. I'm the only one that makes sense. Like, he's just talking to his best friend, forcing convincing him to be cast.
Come on, Steven.
Yeah, come on, Steve. You got to do this. I love it. But he really does work out well for the role, because, I love his performance.
He's the right kind of crazy for when he starts losing it.
Yeah. And Melinda Dillon does a good job, too, because we didn't mention her son. She has a son named Barry. Played by Carrie Guffey. But Guffey. He gets abducted by the aliens. That's one of the big things that happens. Because there's a lot of people who are like, are the aliens friendly or are they vicious? We don't know what their attitude is going to be to humanity. And there's for the most part, it seems very, is laissez-faire, is that hands off? Is that what that means?
Sure. I don't think exactly, but I also am not French. Yeah. We'll have to ask.
I was trying to be very fanciful and like throwing out the big words, but then like right when I said it, I was like, oh, hands off. That was the word I was looking for.
We'll have to ask Dr. Lacombe.
Right.
What it is.
Well, the aliens though, they're not really doing much. They're just kind of like flying over,
observing.
They're having close encounters of the third kind with all this group of humans, but they don't seem violent until there's that one scene with the mom, Barry and Jillian.
Yeah,
and that's when it gets a little scary, when it's just like, maybe they are here for violent things. We don't know what their intentions are.
Why'd you take a kid? You took a
I
actually missed that scene this time around for some reason, like the actual physical abduction. And then all of a sudden Jillian was like, they took him! They took Barry! And I'm like, oh, when did that happen?
Oh no.
I don't know if I just
maybe
looked
that
away,
was left out of the
Of the original,
or maybe you didn't have the director's cut. I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know what was left out of the other cuts.
Neither do I. How many cuts? Does it have as many cuts as Blade Runner?
No, I don't think so. Not at all.
I feel like people at this time,
looks like all this
studios trusted Spielberg a bit more than, say, the other guy, the guy from Blade Runner. I don't remember.
Yeah, it looks Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott, thank you.
Yeah, I think if I've read everything right here, it just seems like they altered the ending for the theatrical cut. So yeah, he probably just looked away. Maybe went and made a sandwich or something.
Maybe, I don't remember. But it was weird to me.
I really do.
I figured it was in the film somewhere because it was too jarring to have not had that scene.
Right. It's a good scene too because it reminds me of Spielberg would later go on to do War of the Worlds. You know, he's done a lot of alien flicks and completely different style of alien.
Also, completely different style.
But it's just kind of funny though because like in War of the Worlds, there's a lot of red. There's a lot of eerie, disturbing scenes where the alien is kind of like prancing around. You don't really get a good look at the alien, but it's in the shadows and it's there. And you can see some of that hint in that scene in Close Encounters because it's really cool because there's a moment where the kid flicks like the mail slot on the door and it's just a complete like ray of red light on his face. Right. And it's so cool. I love that scene.
Yeah. Okay, I do remember that. So I must have looked away just after the light.
Yeah, they don't show an abduction. He just like walks out the door and then she's just screaming.
I did see it. Yeah. I just didn't pick up that that's what happened. Or I forgot
because the mom's just left inside and screaming. She's like, Barry!
Oh, it's Barry.
My kid! Yeah. But yeah, I guess. Are you ready for closing statements on this one?
I don't know what else to say about it, so I guess so.
Yeah. I mean, all I wanted to say is like I absolutely love this film. I've adored it since I was a kid. Like I don't remember my first experience of watching it besides like the little things like that railroad crossing sign going back and forth like crazy. But I love Spielberg's attention to like his backdrops. Those night backdrops are so cool. Like I love it. It's so simple, so nice looking. It's the movie's set in Indiana, so that's my that's our homeland here.
Yeah, that after Area 52, we've been in it. Area 52, by the way, is in the south of Illinois. Oh shit, they're gonna come get me now.
Shit. But no, I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's a good movie. The only part where my love for it sags is that middle section where both the lead characters are going mad. I don't know, like even though it's good, the acting's great in it, I get a little bored during those parts because I'm there for the aliens and for that kind of interaction. And they're kind of gone throughout the middle of it because it's just both characters going mad and sculpting a mountain out of things. Yeah. And it's just like it's whatever. It's again, it's iconic, those scenes, where I remember that 70s show where they take that mashed potatoes and they just make a mound out of it. And,
does this mean anything? Isn't that what they ask?
yeah, that's what he says. But what's his name? I can't remember the character's name now.
Is it Kelso or Eric it's Hyde? Fez?
Hyde. It's Hyde. Okay. Thank you. I couldn't. All I knew was it started with an H, and I was like, man, yeah. It's Hyde. He makes that sculptor out of it, and he's just looking at it, he's like, this means something. It's the exact same thing from Close Encounters, so it's funny. Like it has its moments, but it's that middle section that I just kind of get bored with. But
I can understand that. I like watching Dreyfuss go a little crazy. I really enjoy it.
I do too.
Because you only get little bit of it when Quinn is bothering him in Jaws.
Yeah.
But you get a big, like a bunch of scenes of him just, he's really good at like being just a touch disturbing to the outside viewer with also seeming like it's rational to him. So when Nicolas Cage goes crazy, I just feel like he's just crazy.
Right.
There's no grounding to it. Dreyfuss is more grounded. Like he sees reason in what he's doing, and that's obvious. Mm-hmm. And I think, like you said, it was perfect for this role. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a face and a half. I really like this movie. It's a lot of fun, and there was something else I wanted to say. Oh, I like the part where he stops the mashed potatoes and sets everything down and says, "Hi, kids. I'm sure you've noticed that Dad's been not quite himself lately, but everything's okay.
Everything's gonna be fine." Yeah. I don't know. I didn't rate it. I give it 3.5 stars.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because, like, no, you're okay. I love that scene too, but it's just, that's the thing, is the middle act has some good stuff. Mm-hmm. It's just, for the most part, it's completely barren of aliens, and like, that's not true. That I'm just there for the aliens, but that's what makes this film very exciting, because it's the first and last act that are just so iconic. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, there's parts of the middle act that are iconic too, but like, I remember that first contact, and then I remember the actual contact at the very end where they're flashing lights at a giant ship, and it's just like, this is crazy. I love it.
That particular scene when they start going faster and faster and faster, it's like, okay, what are you guys trying to accomplish? Are you actually trying to communicate? I think they got that you got
They're
the tones.
Making music, man.
I think
they're making music.
It's an interesting scene though, and
it really is.
There's just a lot that I want to talk about that scene, but since it's the exact end of the movie, I want to save that for the viewer.
Yeah. I will say, I have to spoil one thing, because the reason I don't give it 4 stars, one is the middle act, but the big important reason, and if you don't want spoilers, if you haven't seen Close Encounters and you just want to continue on, definitely skip forward 30 seconds. At the very end, the aliens come and they're like, we want to take one person so we can learn more about your culture, they can learn more about our culture, that kind of thing. And they select Richard Dreyfuss, a man who has 2 kids.
That's right.
A wife. Sure, they think he's going crazy, but they are still his family.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yes, I will go with you. Steven Spielberg has said after the fact that he wasn't a father at the time. He is a father now, and he said, if I had made this movie now, that would not be how it ended, because that makes no sense. And I agree. It literally makes no sense.
Well, I think that maybe I didn't see the director's cut because I did not remember that. I don't remember what the alternate... I'm sure that we watched the director's cut when you introduced it to me, but I didn't remember that part. So maybe that's the alternate ending.
Maybe it is. But yeah, that was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Before we go to Nope.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a soda water break?
I do.
A water pop break?
I want to take a soda pop break, yes. A soda water bottle.
Or Sodaqua?
Kodakwa. It's the water cola. Gross. All right, we'll be back.
I love you. Oh, I gotta flip to my note page, though. Bear with me.
Bared. I'm bared.
I don't remember how long ago I watched this movie in the theaters.
Is it
Kaluuya? David Kaluuya.
Kaluuya.
Yeah. I don't think, I don't think
with Kiki's hair straight, I recognize her more. But I still can't remember what I recognize her from.
I honestly don't know if I remember her from much. Going through.
Yes, she's a singer.
Yeah, I haven't seen... I saw her in Lightyear, and that was it.
She was in Lightyear.
Well, I guess I didn't check TV shows. She was the voice in Lightyear.
I might have seen Barbershop 2, but I do not remember that very much of that movie. I do think I watched Medea's Family Reunion.
What movie?
Barbershop 2, Back in Business.
She was on Good Mythical Morning, so I definitely saw her there.
Oh, she was?
She had a guest starring episode, I guess.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't recognize her.
Yeah.
True Jackson VP. Did I watch that? Maybe I watched that.
Oh, she was in the Double Dutch movie with Corbin Bleu, Jump In. Did you watch that on the Disney Channel? I think I recognize her from when she was a kid. I think she
was on Disney. I definitely probably watched. That's what I was saying. Like True Jackson, I might have watched that on Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Are we back?
Greg Proops in it. I like Greg Proops. Yeah, we're just talking peoples, you know.
Yeah.
We're talking Nope, man. I'm excited about this movie. I watched this in the theater, and it was immediately like my favorite movie, barring 2 other movies this year. But it was still amazing. It's my 3rd favorite movie so far this year. But I really loved it. Honestly, it might be better than The Batman. Like I've watched The Batman more.
3rd? Okay, The Batman. I forgot The Batman came out this year.
But, and you haven't seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, but that movie.
Seen it. You're right.
Yeah. Well, when it comes, it might be on streaming now. Who knows? But when it does come to streaming, I definitely love to do that as an episode because I want to watch that again fast.
Good.
Almost as fast as I wanted to rewatch Nope, and I watched it again in theaters. So I looked back through because I collect my ticket stubs. You know, I'm one of those weirdos. I'm a collector, and I looked back through my ticket stub book, which I started keeping that back in 2019. So it's not an old book. And then 2020 happened and wiped out a lot of pages because I didn't go to the theater at all. So there's a huge gap there. But I'm filling it up as fast as I can, and I went back through the whole thing. Do you want to guess the only other movie I've gone to see twice in theaters in the past 4 years?
And it wasn't The Batman.
It's a movie.
Because that was on
It's a movie I love a lot. Yeah, exactly.
The Green Knight?
No. It was years ago. It was in 2019.
It was in 2019.
One of my favorite movies. I've watched it a lot since then.
It's not Cabin in the Woods because that wasn't long enough ago.
No. Think that was probably the last movie before this movie that I saw so many times in theaters. Think phallic symbols. Think a giant penis in the sky.
Giant penis in the sky? Why can't I remember?
Flashes lights. Warned sailors.
Horned sailors?
Flashes lights and warns sailers.
Oh, The Lighthouse, of course.
The Lighthouse.
Of course.
Yeah, so this is kind of an exciting moment because it was I like to play stupid games like that. The listeners got an insight into my that's how it's like on road trips. I'll play these stupid little trivia games and make my passengers feel like idiots.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go to sleep now, Greenie. You got the next leg of this trip, right?
Oh my god. But Nope has an exciting placement in my ticket stub collection as being the only film in only the second film in 4 years to be seen twice in theaters, and it's fucking worth it.
It is worth it.
Jordan Peele's 3rd movie. If you've seen Get Out, if you've seen Us,
I'm gonna go out and say that I think it's his best. I've only seen it once. Get Out is fucking pretty good, so I'd have to watch it again to really say that. But damn, I thought this was really good.
And that's the thing is like I watched, when I first watched Get Out, being a white individual, I was just like, I missed a lot of the message, and so like watching it on subsequent viewings, having talked to many other people, and like knowing more of the message, I absolutely love it a lot more than I did the first time. I didn't hate it at all the first time. I really liked it that first time. It's just I didn't like it as much as I feel like I should have.
Yeah. You didn't feel you quite got it.
Yeah, exactly. Us, I enjoyed it a lot. The message seemed a little more vague. Like I feel like I was like trying to find it.
To say exactly with Us, except for there's definitely some obvious commentary there, but it wasn't my favorite, but it was still a high quality movie at the same time. Like he's a quality director, and I'm just excited that he's still pumping out work, and I'm excited for the next one.
Yeah, and Nope was the one that like I watched it in theaters, and I was just completely in love. I loved everything about it when I first watched it. I started reading a lot of fan theories and everything, and it was like, eye-opening, because I was like, oh my god, there's so many hidden things that I did not notice that like I absolutely loved. So let's get into it. You have returning with Jordan Peele, collaborator on one other occasion now. Daniel Kaluuya, who plays. Let me get my cast list up here.
OJ.
I stupidly
Otis
dropped
Jr.
that. Thank you.
The son of Otis.
Otis Jr. The son of Keith David.
Keith David, who's very shortly in this movie, but I love him. I
love that it was like. Who was in something else that we just watched? Not
Rick and Morty.
What was that other movie? Oh my god, no! He was in DC League of Super Pets. Maybe that was it.
Oh, was he? Okay, I didn't see that. But Keith David runs this ranch. It is the Haywood ranch. I'm sorry, you're doing the synopsis of this, but I just wanted to express that I really liked David Keith's character, even though he's only in the movie for like 5 minutes. Not even.
Right. Yeah, they raise like stunt horses kind of. Yeah. So they sell these stunt horses to like local nearby like carnival kind of things, but mostly they do cinema. Movies. They're movie stunts and everything. Haywood's what is it? Haywood something horses?
Oh, Haywood
Hollywood
horses.
Haywood's Hollywood Horses.
There it is. Haywood's Hollywood Horses Ranch. Let's just say Haywood.
I just remembered the sign was 3 H's.
Yeah,
because it's like they have that fun. If you've seen the trailer, you've seen Keke Palmer's pitch where she's pitching and they're talking about the first coupling of images together to make a movie is of a black man on a horse riding a horse, and it's just and she's just like that was our great grandfather or whatever.
Yeah,
and another great.
Yep. Yeah,
I've seen it too many times already. But that's what they do is they have this horse ranch, but one day while OJ is out with his father just talking about talking about the job, talking about how the business is getting hard, it's harder to get work, get quality work even. There's just random outpouring of metal like keys and like
it's just stuff.
Yeah, I think the background news says that it was luggage like offshoot from an airplane, like they accidentally dropped luggage from an airplane is what they called it on the news. So that's how they came to terms with it.
Yeah,
because that's a lot of that. But in that dropping of all this stuff, OJ's dad gets hit with a lot of it and dies.
Yeah, I believe it's a nickel that went through his eye and got lodged into his skull, if I recall correctly.
Oof. Yeah. It's good. It's good effects because it's really, it's kind of sad, hard to watch when OJ is trying to drive his father to the hospital and his father's just bleeding all over his car.
And also just spouting nonsense because his brain doesn't make sense anymore. It's really good.
Yeah, it's good. It's sad, and what makes it so amazing is Daniel Kaluuya. His character is so calm and understated throughout this whole movie. Like, definitely terrified.
Right.
He's definitely like you can see that he is afraid, but he maintains this great, like almost chilling calm. It's so
he's
fucking
very
good.
He stoic, very reserved. In fact, he obviously has trouble in a room of people, either getting their attention or maybe he's just has social anxiety. I can't really tell from the one scene that he's in a crowd, but he's not. After his dad passes, he's in charge, but he's not the spokesman. He can't do that.
He is not. No. And that's Keke. Keke comes in and does it. But I just wanted to say, like, where Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah, is like such a great actor, and how he orates and how he acts, like opposite. Physically and it's the complete opposite. He's so quiet in this film, and he tells a lot with just his face, and I'm just like, oh my god, this man is amazing. But yeah, this is a great performance. I doubt that he might get award nomination, but I doubt the Oscars will look at it much.
Yeah, I don't know. Just because it is so understated, I could honestly see them nominating Keke Palmer over him.
Right. Keke does a great job too. She does an amazing job. Yeah, she's very loud, very she's more of like a party girl, because that's she's like the opposite of her brother. She comes in, she does all the speaking.
But she's not really.
But she's not good at it either.
Yeah, she's not.
Yeah, she's more about her own side projects. She doesn't care about the family business.
Oh, but if you ask her, the horses are the side project. Get it straight.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I don't know if we said yet. She plays Otis Jr.'s OJ's brother, Emerald, but they just call her M most of the time.
You said brother, was it?
Oh. Her sister, it's OJ's sister. Excuse me, Keke plays OJ's sister.
I was like, did I miss a gender?
No,
I didn't realize.
I don't think so. I mean, it could work for the way they design the character, but she's very female presenting. I'm pretty sure sister. It says Otis's daughter on it on the wiki.
Okay. But I love their chemistry together, Keke and Daniel. Mm-hmm. They definitely feel like brother sister pairing. There's quite a few scenes too where she's ragging on him, she's trying to tease him and everything, and just how he handles it is so hilarious. Like I can't remember specifically what's going on in the scene, but like she's very excited that they got a certain piece of equipment to help them capture like alien technology kind of thing, to like get a good shot of a UFO in the sky. And like she turns to Daniel and she's like, "We fucking got it!" And he looks so mad. And then they start high-fiving.
yeah, I remember. That was good.
That scene just had me rolling. It felt very brother and sisterly, and I love it. They did a great job together.
Yeah, their relationship, honestly, if you would put me into OJ's spot, my brother and my cousin, who was basically our sister, if you mix those two people together, it really felt like Emerald.
Right. Oh man, it's perfect. And joining them in their little area, there is Stephen Yeun playing Ricky Park, who is a famous child actor. He did some like tiny sitcoms and everything. That kind of a moment of his past is inserted throughout the movie. It's kind of, it doesn't bookend it, but like it has little moments where it's really nice how they parallel an alien invasion or like this alien spaceship in the sky, like a predator basically that's kidnapping people, to working with actual predators in film. Like
because he kind of tries to do the same thing as they did with Gordy from Gordy's Home with the UFO.
That was the show he worked on. And on that show, Gordy is a chimpanzee
played by Andy Serkis. He's actually played by Terry Notary, who I don't know.
Thank you. Let's look it up. Is he?
He must be a
mocap for Avatar.
Gotcha, mocap guy.
And Tintin.
He was also in the Planet of the Apes.
He was, and in The Hobbit.
Also, Kong Skull Island. So did he double?
He's gonna get so mad.
Did he double with Andy on Kong? Because he's also
he's gonna call Andy up and be like, "People think I'm fucking you." We were talking about Nope the other day. Andy? God damn, you typecasted bastard. He's like, "Why would they think I'm you? I'm not a chimp. I'm an ape.
I'm an ape."
Damn it. But no, Gordy goes mad. Gordy the chimpanzee that they're working with on the sitcom goes crazy and goes on a killing rampage on set.
Yeah.
One of the only survivors, there are a few other survivors, but one of the only survivors is Steven Yeun's Ricky Park. And he goes on to develop this like Western, like carnival, like small little town of like, fun carnival event kind of thing. And it's really close to the Hayward family farm. Not too far away. He can, ride a horse down there and find him in a couple minutes.
It's several acres still.
Yeah.
Because ranches are just huge.
And somewhere along the line, there's one night scene where Daniel Kaluuya is outside and he sees something in the sky. He sees this UFO floating about.
Yeah.
And that's what starts it all off. That's what gets him and Emerald interested in getting the impossible, getting the shot of a UFO. And an undeniable shot. It's got to be great.
Yeah.
Emerald they want this.
Wants it so bad. Like, OJ needs the money, but Emerald is looking at it as a way to get out of this ranch, their heritage.
Right.
But OJ still wants to keep it going for his dad's sake. I mean, it was what he and his dad did together. Yeah.
And that's what he loves. I mean... Yeah. And in his way, it's what he loves doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're his.
I'm sure if it could just be him taking care of the horses and he didn't have to worry about the money, that's all he would do is take care of the horses.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it's they both have their reasons and they loop in to their efforts. Young Angel Torres, played by Brandon Perea.
Oh, that's right.
Who is
almost forgot about
he's
him.
a tech salesman at not Best Buy. It's an electronics store.
Yeah,
but he sets them up with all the cameras they need.
Like he has a van and everything, and he ends up basically living at their house out of nowhere.
Oh my god, I love Angel. Angel is so good. He's a fun character.
Yeah, he is.
I love him.
But so weird. When he comes out
he gets roped in. He causes a lot of good comedic relief, even though it's not really needed with Kiki and Daniel Kaluuya, but he does enough to just keep it going. Because that's the thing with Jordan Peele. He makes a good horror film. I guess this one doesn't have a lot of horror, really. There are elements.
Yeah.
But he really can make that eerie feeling with comedy. He just blends it so well.
Oh yeah.
Every single movie he's done so far has been both kind of eerie, really off-putting, good horror, and funny as fucking hell.
Yeah.
Good job.
His
it's hard to do.
Background probably helps with that a lot.
Right. But then they also end up bringing in a cinematographer, a renowned cinematographer, Antlers Holst, played by Michael Wincott, who speaks like I was speaking at the beginning of this. Antlers, yeah.
Yeah, you can barely understand him, honestly. It's not just because he's got this weird gravelly voice. He just also kind of has this accent. He's Canadian himself, but it felt like he was doing a Cajun accent.
Yeah, he was trying to do something.
I think it worked, but I did have trouble understanding him sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like when I watch it, it comes across more as he's just trying to put on a mysterious air about him.
Sure.
Because he's always very quiet. He likes just being this weird mystery. There's a moment where everybody's just sitting quietly at a table and he just starts singing, speaking the lyrics of Purple People Eater. It's just so weird, and I'm just this guy, is he really doing this right now?
Yeah.
And everybody at the table feels that way. They're all just looking at him what the heck? All right.
Why is he doing this? But dude, the way he did it, I kind of want to audition that sometime. It was
right.
The way he did it was really good. That was his best part.
It's if...
I don't know. Him with that crank camera was pretty fun.
Yeah. when he's screaming, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the moment where he's like cranking the camera and he's just like yelling at the camera, well, yelling at what we're seeing.
Yeah.
You know, he reminds me a lot of Sam Riegel in that shot.
I can remember. I see that. Yeah.
Oh, it was good. But no, that's the synopsis really is it boils down to getting the shot of this cool, awesome UFO in the sky. And at the same time, while the Haywood family is trying to do that, Ricky Park and the carnival is trying to rack up entertainment value out of it.
What's his place called? Jupiter's something, because his
Jupiter's
nickname
Claim.
Is it's I
think it's Jupiter's Claim.
Jupiter's Claim. Yep, you got it right. And
okay,
it's
cool.
Like it is this
nice
amusement park type thing. Like it's part amusement park, part horse show.
Yeah, I keep calling it a carnival, and I know that's not right. It's like a theme park of sorts, like a Western.
Yeah.
And
they got pictures
really cool.
of him
really
plastered
like
everywhere in a cartoon style as a cowboy. He wears this like red cowboy outfit.
I used to be famous as a kid.
Yeah.
And I love Steven Yeun. He's good.
Oh, I
love the background they give. Like, I think if anybody has a complaint about this movie exiting the theater, it would probably be with his backstory. Because it's like, you know, once you finish the movie, if you're not paying attention to the message or like the meaning of things or like the underlying connections, you'd be like, well, what the fuck is the purpose of his? Like, I actually heard this coming out of the theater with somebody saying, what the fuck the purpose of his story? You know, it's just like, it doesn't have to do with the Haywoods at all.
I got it. For me, it showed that he made the same mistake as the people who produced that show. And also, there is a connection, an eerie connection in that show because after Gordy goes on his rampage, there's this shoe and Ricky takes the shoe. He takes a whole bunch of stuff from the show and has this little display. Mm-hmm. That he charges money to see.
Really disturbing.
But the shoe just stands on end. And there is like an anti-gravity or more of a sucking, I would say, that goes on with the alien. And so I think there was an encounter going on. That's what I think happened. Because even afterwards, Gordy's demeanor totally changes. After he kills everybody. It's very... I didn't want to give away the whole scene, even though I just did, but...
Well, see, I'm okay with you giving away the whole scene, because, like, I feel like, while that makes sense, I'm not sure if there was an encounter, because, like, that's one of the funnier things, too, is, like, when I was reading all the fan theories about it, a lot of people focus on the fucking shoe, because everybody's like, well, what the fuck is with the shoe? Because it's not levitating or anything, it's just standing on edge.
It's standing on a round edge.
But that's the thing. I came back home and I could do it with my shoe. I could set it up to stand like that.
Okay, I mean, it's physical miracle.
It's definitely a miracle that it flew off of somebody's body and landed like that and stayed like that. But like you can, it was possible, I guess. And like, I want to believe like, you know, maybe there was an encounter, but like I also love just the parallels of that animal to the UFO, because there's a moment where if you've seen the trailer, you see that hand reaching under the table, and it, you know, to us it looks very inhuman, and it's just like, oh my god, that's like very kind of a creepy hand. Right. And then when you're watching the movie, you're like, oh, it's just a chimpanzee's hand.
Yeah.
Like, it's not alien at all. It's just a chimpanzee. And like it was cool. Like it was a really good setup and like parallels like this alien kind of, you know, this idea of what we see as aliens, what we see as these predators. And I don't know, like there's a lot of good fan theories about the chimpanzee, but that is one of them that I read that like makes the most sense, is that it was an encounter going on.
Right.
But who knows? Like there's so much
set up that it could go either way.
To be analyzed about this movie.
It was set up that it could go either way, because what set him off was a balloon popped on stage. And, you know, loud noise scares animals. They they defend themselves. That's how it goes.
And they can go into a blood rage, like especially chimpanzees have that
That's why you don't
wrath.
keep chimpanzees as a pet. PSA.
Mm-hmm. And if you're gonna work with them on movies, make sure you have really, really good stunt people and stunt crew. And that was another thing I love about this movie. It's just
anymore. I'm pretty sure you can't work with live chimps anymore on film.
Yeah, and that was one of the things I loved about this movie, though, was it was 100% a love letter to the crew.
Yeah.
And, like, to the people who work on film sets. Like, literally, in the third act, you have your hero, Daniel Kaluuya, riding a horse away from a UFO while wearing an orange crew shirt that his father got on the Scorpion King.
Oh, that's right. There was a lot of talk of the Scorpion King, too. Oh, like, there was at one point, Emerald was talking about it and kept on calling the film The Mummy, and he's like, it was the Scorpion King.
He's like, no, it was the Scorpion King. Oh man, I really liked it, and there's also the movie is cut up into segments that are all taken on from like not all of them, but most of them are taken from the names of the horses on the ranch of the Haywood family, and they all have like emotional, sentimental like tie-ins to the story or to that segment of the story that you're gonna see. Like, there's so much thought into this movie. Like, that's what I love about Jordan Peele is like he's able to bring that good art to the entertainment, so he's able to put asses in the seats and still tell an artful story. And it's like, oh, thank you. That's so good. Like, this is what people need. This is a movie that people need to see, and people have been seeing it. So, like, you know, I fucking love it.
And if you haven't seen it, I believe it, at least in our town, it's out of theaters now. But
sadly.
But you can now rent it on your streaming devices. And I recommend that you do. And, you know, if you're worried about the price point, it probably won't be too much longer till it's cheaper. But, you know, it's worth the money. Give Jordan Peele your money.
Yeah, for fucking real. For fucking real. I will say I did want to dip into, like, we don't have to put a spoiler wall up if you don't want to.
I think
I did want to talk. Yeah, I wanted to talk the alien because that's the most exciting part of the film. Okay. And I think that's also one of the bigger selling points to this film because I feel like we especially have a friend who would probably not be like terribly interested in this movie unless we told her that the alien was partially designed off of Evangelion. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Like it's one of the. It's like
they fight angels.
It's a very similarly styled
in Neon Genesis. I'm gonna say it wrong.
Neon Genesis, something like that. Yeah,
it's Evangelion. You were right, but there's 2 or 3 other words. I'm just looking it up. Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Nice. We did it. We did it.
Together we did it.
We got it right. But it's like that. It's what we, and again, this is big spoilers. Like, please go see this movie. If you haven't seen this movie, go see it. Just know that I'm about to spoil something huge. And that's that what we see as a UFO.
Forward 15 seconds.
And skip forward like maybe 10 minutes. What we see as an alien, or what we see as a UFO, is actually in and of itself a creature.
Yeah.
It's it's in the sky. It lives in the sky, and it looks like kind of like a manta ray. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like a sting, it's like a massive stingray up in the sky.
If you mixed a stingray, cut off its tail, and morphed it with a mushroom cap.
Right.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, in that third act, it blossoms out into this beautiful dancing fairy kind of thing. Like, so weird. And that's what I wanted to talk about, because when I first watched it, I was seeing, like, when I finished the movie, I was like, okay, I get it. The alien is an eye of a camera. You look into it, and you're causing, that's what it felt like to me. And when it unfolds, it looks even more like that. You have the square and then all the curtain around and everything. It was kind of like an old-fashioned camera. And I was like, that's how I saw it. And I was like, oh, I get it. There's a lot to divulge there. It's a huge, that's the thing about this movie. There's a lot of analysis and, like, things you can pull apart. But what I was seeing a lot of people talking about that I didn't realize, the movie opens up with a Bible quote. And I didn't look, like, it's very weird because it's just like there's not a lot of religion in this movie at all. But if you read the description of aliens, and if you look up images of Bible accurate or biblically accurate aliens.
Or angels, you mean?
Or angels. Sorry, yeah, angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could definitely look like
it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, when it's blossomed out, for sure. For sure.
Because the angels are described as like an eye with like 6 wings bursting off of it, and it's just
there's a lot of crazy
type of angel. There's
yeah.
A
lot of different.
And there's one angel that's described that way, and like looking into it, the more I was looking into it, I was like, oh my god, like that's what it is. Like it's a description of what people just took to be an alien.
Right. And what the real question for me is it extraterrestrial, or has it always been here and we just have never gotten a great shot of it because it's such a great predator.
Yeah, that's what I assumed, was that it's just always been there. And because it hides in clouds, it just sits in clouds.
Oh, dude, the fucking clouds.
It's so cool.
Still. Oh god. Okay. Do you think
that messed with me?
I want to talk more about it, but I also want to wrap up and leave it for them because it's worth it.
Right.
I don't think you can ruin this movie because there's so much that we want to be able to say, and it's beautiful. It's an homage to cinema while also being a completely, I don't know if news story is accurate. It's hard to say that a story is
it's just story. Jaws.
It's just Jaws. It's it is really good though. It's definitely a perspective on an alien movie that I feel like we haven't really had.
Yeah. I mean, that was the thing, is I was not expecting... did you give it a rating?
It's a face and a half. That's my closing
Yeah.
statement now.
Yeah. I didn't know if we were going to closing statement.
Yeah,
it just sounded
so.
like a perfect closing statement.
Yeah, I think so.
Because that was the thing, is going into this movie, I was expecting Close Encounters, and I got Jaws. Because when I walked out of the theater, I texted you guys immediately. Like, I was being completely honest. Walking out of the theaters, I was looking up at the sky the way, like, when I first watched Jaws, I was looking at the water. Yeah. Like, it affects you on that kind of a level that once you walk out, you're like, man, I really hope I see a flying saucer. Like, this is going to be so cool.
Please say all the clouds are moving. Okay, we're good.
Dude, I've done that though. I've become obsessed with like just looking at clouds and just enjoying, nice. One, I enjoyed the view of it. Right. But two, like, it is kind of fun to watch, like to look at a cloud and be like, is that one moving? I don't know if that one's moving. It kind of looks like it. Oh, nope.
Oh,
it moved.
Okay.
It moved. Right. But that's what this movie did to me. It affected me on a really good level. I love the acting. I love the cinematography. Give a shout out to him. I think it's Hoyt van Hoytema. Yes, he did Interstellar.
Oh, wow, yeah. That was a good...
a lot of big movies. He's a great fucking cinematographer. And very good for sci-fi, it seems.
Yeah, seems like it.
And I heard, and I don't know the entire truth of this could be completely wrong, it could be internet misinformation, but I heard the night scenes were all filmed in the daytime. That there were no actual night filming scenes. And that was one thing that's, like, if that's true, it blew my mind, because when I saw it in theaters, some of the night cinematography is the most beautiful cinematography I've ever seen for nighttime. I was blown away by it.
So that had
and
to
if that's
have
how they pulled it off,
studio then to do that.
Yeah. Right. And if they pulled it off that way, that's fucking incredible.
Wow.
Do your own research. I don't know if that's true. That's just
we
what I heard, and it's
show.
what I'm going to believe.
We're liars.
I don't know what you're talking about, Faceless.
Oh. I am as honest as your skin is green.
To just finish my statement, I like if it's not obvious enough, it's a 4-star movie. It's absolutely phenomenal. Like, definitely go see it if you have not. It's totally worth it.
Definitely.
And it wins.
Fuck, who wins? Okay, you say Nope wins. It's a little harder for me. They're both fucking good. I think Nope will go down as a classic as much as Close Encounters is. Close Encounters might be a little bit dated. Just for that reason, I'm going to give it to Nope. For one thing, there's not very much diversity in Close Encounters, but we said, it's a dated movie. So we'll give it to Nope. But I love them both a face and a half, as I said, so please go check them out if you haven't yet.
And, as we mentioned earlier, go check our Patreon.
Yeah.
At patreon.com/greenandfaceless.
And for our patrons out there...
I'm a corporate shill.
For our patrons out there, thank you so much for your support. This episode is for you, as is every other episode, because you're the ones who are listening. Should we give a shout out to our new patron? I meant to ask before we recorded.
Oh, yeah, Gage. Welcome aboard, Gage.
Welcome aboard, Gage. Thanks for joining our little community.
Welcome.
We hope to get more of your... We hope that we enjoy your suggestions. And, yeah, we'll see you all next time.
Indeed. I have been the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
And I am the Faceless Leon. Safe travels, and good night. Green and Faceless on the Couch is a proud production of FictionWorks 19. Are you a fan of the show? Feel free to contact us at greenandfacelessfans@gmail.com or visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, or rate us on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening.